Let's face it, these devices are everywhere, along with our MacBooks, and we take them everywhere we go, and our default behavior is consumption. We binge watch our favorite TV shows, and we scroll on social media. And those activities have their time and their place, but it's not why we bought these things. Fundamentally speaking, our computing devices are tools, and tools help us get things done. Kind of like this multi-purpose Leatherman type tool. Look at all the things it has. Pliers, drivers, file, all kinds of things to do all kinds of different tasks. Computers can also do a lot of things for us. Web, email, recordings, reminders, whatever we need. However, if you're doom scrolling endlessly on your device, it's kind of like using that very capable Leatherman to change pages in your favorite tabloid magazine. So think of some of the things you can actually do with your computing tools. You can formally educate yourself, and you can create things. But you might be thinking, I'm not creative. I don't know how to do all these things. And learning just seems really difficult. Or what makes me so special that gives me the authority to actually make something like that? So you're asking yourself, why you? And my answer to you is, why not you? You have ideas, stories, skills, life experience. You've solved problems, and others will appreciate you sharing that information. And you probably have a few creative instincts, like creating a slideshow of your favorite set of photos from your last vacation or the last family get-together. And the bottom line is that no one's going to give you permission to do this. No one's going to tell you you should do this. You're going to have to give yourself that permission to go ahead and start. And the best part about it, there are no credentials needed to get started. And here's a quick mental trick to get you past the initial challenge, is keeping in mind that consumption is passive and that creating something is active. So my suggestion is to start small, because small is doable. And one thing done is better than 10 unrealized ideas. So challenge yourself to move forward. Go ahead and use the tools that you have on your computing devices to plan your time and collect your ideas, like the Notes app and voice memos. These are places where you can easily and quickly collect your ideas. In calendars, you can set aside time to pursue those ideas. You can use reminders to schedule your actions to get that work done. And you don't have to let these good ideas evaporate. And once you get past that part, then use many of these free tools to get started creating your ideas. You've got notes, pages, and voice memos to get those stories out of your head and into a document. You've got an iPhone camera, which, believe me, it's good enough. You have access to Apple Photos and iMovie. That means you can easily edit your photos, create slideshows. You can create videos and edit your videos. You have Canva, just recently released Affinity app for free, which gives you powerful tools for photo editing and even vector graphics creation. So these free apps and tools will help you realize your ideas, because tools should not be slowing you down. And I encourage you to ignore the barriers that prevent you from starting, because simple is better than elaborate. So if you have a story, remember, a short story can also be a masterpiece. A slideshow is better than a set of single static images. You can create a graphic. You don't have to burden yourself with creating a large brand set portfolio. You can create a 60-second video, because that can still be powerful. And that leads me to the next directive. finish it, because a small scope is finishable. Bad and done, it's better than perfection that you can't achieve. And done creates momentum. And at this point, I'm going to share a quick personal story. During my career, I have made several presentations on complex information to rooms with hundreds of people sitting in there. And I felt that I could create scripts very quickly. I could come across very easily in YouTube videos. And I remember getting all set. I was all ready to go. And I came up and I set this camera in front of me. And I sat there and froze. I have no idea why a small camera intimidated me more than a room of 300 people all staring at me, but it did. But I pushed forward, and the first video I made stunk, but I finished it, and that carried to the next one, which went a little more smoothly. And as I learned my own way and workflow to get my stuff done, because it was different than a lot of the videos that I had researched before I started this. Keep in mind that the workflow needs to be determined by you, and you'll figure it out on your own, because you are the expert on yourself. And now comes the scary part when it comes to finishing your work, and that is sharing it. Keeping your work private and on just your screen where you get to see it, that feels safe. But keep in mind that sharing is generosity. And a small audience that you share with, it could be just family and friends, that's manageable. And it's not so scary. And optionally, later, you could consider sharing it with the public in many different forms that I won't go into here in this video. But it is an option for you. But don't focus on it in the beginning. If and when you ever get around to sharing your projects with a wider audience, especially the general public, and selling something, I want you to understand the difference between feedback and validation. This is why I tell you to focus on creating things you enjoy. Share it first and monetize later. And if you ever sell a product on Etsy or publish something to YouTube, I want you to realize that a sale or a view is not validation. It is just feedback. Because feedback from sales and views is dependent on the product you've created and the market timing. However, validation is something inside you, something you know because you showed up and you did the work. That is validation. So create, draw a picture, write a story, record a video. And to do that, learn intentionally, create deliberately, and share courageously. Just make sure you do something with the incredible tools you have available to you. So after you publish something you've created, then you can go back to your devices and binge watch Game of Thrones or whatever. And until next time, have fun, stay safe, and keep learning.